Am I the asshole for telling my husband to cool it with a female colleague? My F28 husband M31 is in a very high-stress job, and we both work in the same industry. He is under significantly more pressure than I am at any given moment. This is mostly because he works in one of the top 3 firms in the industry, and the expectations are massive. About 6 months ago, a new girl joined his team. I am unsure about her age, but know she is married with 2 very young kids. My husband was initially assigned as her mentor buddy to show her the ropes and ensure that everything was handed over nicely. During this time, they struck up a bit of a friendship and frequently chat. I don't have an issue with this. He is obviously more than welcome to have friends. My husband and I both work from home, and recently I noticed that he has been spending more and more time talking to his colleague on Teams. This is outside of their normal meetings, and is just a bit of a chat. They vent about their team members, and also talk about their personal lives. This doesn't eat into his time outside of work, but they will probably spend at least an hour on the phone with each other each day. I will say that I am in the same study as my husband, so I do hear all of their conversations. I mentioned to my husband about a month ago that I thought they were crossing the boundary into unprofessional, and he agreed that he probably shouldn't talk to her so much, but it carried on. I then mentioned it about 2 weeks ago again and said that it was starting to become inappropriate, mostly in terms of the amount of time and personal stories about their lives. My husband said she knows he is married and I do hear him talk about me, but he says that he just needs someone to talk to when he is frustrated about work. I asked him why he can't talk to me, and he said I wouldn't understand. When I brought up that we are in the same industry, he said he knows I would understand the work, but I wouldn't understand the team dynamics and the personalities in his office. I brought it up again on Friday when the 2 of them had been chatting for 2 hours. He got off the phone finally after not discussing any work, and I said this was now well and truly outside of anything normal. He said he was just needing someone to vent to again, and literally while we were discussing it, she sent him a message saying she had forgotten to ask him something and could she call him again. What more could she want to talk about? I told him he needs to start respecting me and our marriage by cooling it with this colleague, but he thinks I am being unfair and he is allowed to have friends. I asked how he would feel if I were spending so much time chatting to a male colleague about anything except work, and he said it was different because I am attractive and young in a male-dominated industry, so it would be flirting. He said I am being jealous and restricting time with friends, so am I being the So you're young and attractive in a male-dominated industry, so it would be flirting. Okay, let's run with that. Is his co-worker young and attractive? Because she's also in a male-dominated industry, so if she is, by your husband's own logic, it's flirting. Oh, and not the asshole. Not the asshole. Someone to talk to. He said I wouldn't understand. Someone to vent to. Male colleague. It was different. Triangular flag on post, 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 triangular flag on post. Not the asshole. The fact that you can hear more like are forced to listen to their conversations is almost the worst part. He's telling you you're overreacting when you literally listen to him chat with another woman all day. If they were just talking about work it would be different. He is totally capable of cutting this back. You are not the asshole. His double standards are completely sexist. And he is spending way too much time talking with this woman, up to 2 hours a day. Is this all on work time when he should be working? If so, I would not only be worried about an emotional connection, but I would also be worried this is negatively affecting his job performance. I mean, that's a lot of time of his workday spent talking to her. Does he talk to you that much? Is he just a chit-chatter with everyone? Heading to emotional affair territory. Not the asshole. He's crossing a line, he knows it, and doesn't care anymore that it bothers you. I wonder how the brass at his company would feel knowing he's spending hours of his workday chatting about his private life with her. I was initially on the edge because my mom works from home and frequently chats up with her co-workers to break up the monotony, but it is never fucking hours long. Honestly, all context aside, the fact your husband holds you to a standard that he believes he's exempt from is an astoundingly large red flag. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your husband is straight up having an emotional affair, and you're forced to listen to it daily. He's not respecting you or your marriage at all. And the fact he thinks that because he's married and she's married means it's okay, is wild. Marriage clearly isn't stopping him from an emotional affair, and it won't stop him from having a physical affair if they continue this relationship. Everything he's doing, triangular flag on post, triangular flag on post, triangular flag on post. He relies on her emotionally, hours PF talking every day, but doesn't rely on you, at all? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Update us. Not the asshole. Even if nothing romantic is happening between them, I'd still be annoyed with the unnecessary chatting for hours distracting me from my work. Also, is this not the first step to emotional cheating? I'm so sorry op. Nada. He knows it's wrong, otherwise he wouldn't be fighting about it. He'd be open to conversation and change because he would ideally care more about you and how you feel. But he doesn't. He doesn't. He knows it's wrong and he doesn't care. Not the asshole. He is absolutely crossing into an emotional affair. A great book to read is Not Just Friends, by Shirley Glass. It discusses how just friends work social can easily become emotional and physical affairs by slowly eroding boundaries. You can then discuss how to make personal and marriage boundaries to protect yourself and your marriage. But, you must work in these issues before they become entrenched. I'd also suggest marriage counseling. But you must stop this now. I'd suggest that he needs a new job if he cannot control himself, and you a conversation with her and her spouse. I was with your husband until he was blatantly sexist. Not the asshole, that's fishy. Not the asshole, if he's not careful it will affect his job if he's spending hours a day not doing work. Not the asshole, maybe record his conversation and play it back to him? ETA, or start interjecting in the conversation. Not the asshole. You're setting boundaries and it's not anything over the top. Sounds like he's on the verge of an EA. In the beginning you brought it up and it was acknowledged as inappropriate. Not only did he not do anything to remedy the situation, but now it's getting worse and he's starting to defend it. You've asked and placed your boundary. He answered. If he allowed this to progress into inappropriate and is blind to how it looks, and isn't respecting your POV, I don't think he sees an issue and is living in delusion. Personally, I try and let people move how they want and then I decide if I want to participate. Not the asshole. He can't vent to a male colleague. This is bad op. I'm sorry to hear. He's unable to put himself on your shoes because he's infatuated with another woman. SMH. Not the asshole, there are clear boundaries being broken. Not the asshole. You wouldn't understand the work dynamics or the personalities in his office. He isn't in an office and there are no work dynamics. If he is spending 2 hours talking to one person, there is nothing even remotely work-related to anything there. When he gets fired for spending 2 hours chatting on the phone instead of working, then he'll actually have something to be stressed over. Not the asshole. Not only is he having a personal relationship with his mentee that crosses professional boundaries, he is taking 2 hours from work to chat. That will reflect poorly on his performance. Sounds like he's already passed over into Delulu territory and doesn't want to stop. I would be having some strong conversations. Nada. Trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, trust yourself. This is how affairs start when someone starts emotionally investing in a person other than their partner. Do not let your husband minimize this,